Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm Kelvin. I work in a movie company. Today, everyone is talking about art tech. And I think movie is already a best example of art technology. Every year, there are new advancements of new technology. We have IMAX, Dolby Vision, we have new set of cameras, and then we change from film to digital, all right? But today, I would like to talk about something rather not that glamorous, visually not that attractive, but in fact, so important to the development of art technology. And I think when we talk about metaverse, this is gonna be another big hit to the world. And I would like to talk about AI scripting. The way we write script nowadays is no big difference from 100 years ago when Citizen Kane is being produced. Are there any technology that can help us to produce the script? And that's my key questions today. And I start thinking about this 10 years before. It's 2012, when I was still a university student in the Chinese University of Hong Kong. We have a general education lesson, and the professor of philosophy taught me about mind, brain, and AI. He taught me about AI can actually help us to create. When we input enough drawing, when we input enough music, it can help to generate some related music or related drawing. And when we input enough article, it is able to output enough article or maybe sentences. And I has that seed in my mind. And somehow when I work in a movie company, I think maybe I can make that into practice. So I would like to see if AI can help us for creative writing. You know, when we train AI, we actually have two main questions. First, if we can get enough adequate information. The second, if we can give it a strict answer for them to go for it. And then, first of all, we get a lot of data in the internet, and then we get a lot of raw data to input into that system. And I will have one question. You can see there's two word map. Can you see what's the difference on the left-hand side and the right-hand side? I give you 1 second to think about it. The left-hand side is actually Oriental beliefs. You can see Buddha, Bodhisattva, resurrections, and this all about Oriental belief. And the right-hand side is the Western belief, like Jesus, God, Bible, and is Western belief. This is by the data we input to the AI, and he can distinguish between these two group of wordings. And then when we input, he will know that these people is talking about religions, and then he can distinguish whether it's Oriental religion or Western religion. And then every time we input, we set up demography, we have a scoring itself. First of all, when we work with our team 3 years ago with a brilliant science park technology company, and then we start at the beginning, the result is not that good. The scoring is not that good. We have to keep teaching the AI, this is true, this is false, and gradually the result become better and better. And nowadays we train basically 9 big demography. And based on that demography, we can have different combinations. Because when we write one character, it's not just about one demography. People have different dimensions. At the same time, I have my belief, and I have my education background, I have my age, and these are all factors that affect how you write your character. And then first of all, theoretically, we will change these words into factor. We put that into a number, and then we have 30 different dimensions, and there are more than 8 million numbers of words. And then this is an illustration of how the AI see the words. You can see this is a 2-dimension graph. The words are being located in the mind map of the AI. And in fact, this is a 30-dimension map. So it cannot be illustrated by a 2D graph, but just for impressions. And then we will do k-mean clustering. The related words in the mind map will be clustered together and form the different character. And this is the general user interface. You can input what you would like to choose. We have 9 different demography. For example, the interest, the emotion, the gender, the education, the family, the age, the belief, the nationality, and the occupation. You can pick one. And then, if you pick more than one, you can also adjust the ratio. For example, I would like to say a guy who really loved to gamble, and he is also a man. But I think the interest is more important. I can add bonus point to that and decrease the bonus point of another part. So the ratio will be have more weighting on the interest rather than the gender. And this is some example we have tried. First, you can see when we input emotion, fear, and the interest is gambling, and the result is something the gambler would afraid a lot. That is, it's because of COVID, the Jockey Club has to shut down. And this is the AI after seeing our input, and he generates such result. And the second part is when we input parents and we input Oriental, and it's become a parent who really care about his baby, but then he go to seek for the advice from the Chinese fortune teller. So this is a combination of parents and belief. So the AI can actually get the information in one sentence and have different scoring in different demography to find such result for us. I will show you more interesting examples. And then, we are working in a movie company, and then we always want to write character with complicated background. First, this time we add ages. Ages is youth, which is so useful for us because we always want to write movie which is related to the youngster, especially like the Taiwanese romantic movies. And then we add the gender as male, the family. There are children inside the family. We can pick whether it is a parent or our children when we set children. And the interest is sports. We want to write something about sports. And then the AI will give us 5 different characters. In the K-mean clustering, they will cluster into several center. We try a lot of time, and we think 5 character is more suitable for the data, and it gave us the best result. So you can see there are different ratio. Some ratio, the age weight more important, and sometimes another part like the gender or maybe interests are more important. And when the importance is different, the result is different as well. For this one, when the result is focused more on the interest, more on the sports, then the result come out will be the sentence from some sports elites. For example, he will say that, I learned Kung Fu for so many years from my master. So my Kung Fu is from which master, and I focus a lot on that. Or maybe he is someone who wants to train his core muscle and look for advice. So this kind of sentence shows that this person is a sports nerd who wants to focus a lot on sport, and the interest is mainly focused on the sport itself. But if the weighting on the age is more important and it's about youth, then the result is more likely from the youngster who would like to sport and treat sport as a hobby rather than he's a professional athlete. For example, they may say that, I would like to train a lot because when I train well, I can be more attractive to the girls. Or maybe they will say that, I play this ball game just for a while, just for a weekend. This is my weekend hobbies. We will get such results. So it plays this big difference. We also input some very contradictory or maybe not related input, and then they give us interesting results as well. For example, we input interest as entertainment, those guys who like to watch a lot of movie or drama series, and his occupation are healthcare. He may be a doctor or nurse or someone working in the hospital. And the AI, after getting such result, such inputs, it gives us a very interesting result that sound like those people are from the fans of medical drama. They will watch a lot medical drama by Charmaine Share or maybe some Japanese medical drama. So they sound like film critics instead of work in a hospital. It's a combination of these two inputs. So this is some interesting result we have found. And we also use this system to interview a lot scriptwriters and people in the film industry and film critics, and someone who has used this for a trial as well. The left-hand side is what he has written before, and the right-hand side is after he used the advice from the AI. And he told us he wants to write a story about gamer in Hong Kong. And the left-hand side is he's still thinking that maybe gamer would like to watch the videos of KOL PewDiePie. And after he get the result from the AI, he's suddenly realized that, oh, people in Hong Kong would like to see KOL Datgo instead of PewDiePie. And she changed the script and make the script sound more locally. And this is what we want to see, because we are not using AI to work instead of human, but to help human to create, to make creative writing more interesting, to attract more new talent. And this is what we want to do. So we back to the original question, can AI really help? If you watch YouTube, Netflix, there's a channel called Netflix is a Joke. It's actually also produced by Netflix. And they have a short film called Mr. Puzzle, Wants You to Be Less Alive. You can watch it, 4 minutes, and I swear that you will laugh during watching it. But the entire script are written by AI. But it also shows us that even for Netflix at this time, for using English, there are lots more data than Cantonese or Mandarin. The result is not such good. They cannot write script, they cannot write something with a very good storyline, because AI writing is still a probabilistic sequences of words. But on the other hand, AI, if you use it for researching, use it to check for certain character language pattern, then it is still very helpful. And also, we go back to the question, it can help us to reduce the researching time. And also, imitation of character is possible. If we have enough time to do it, we can use it to scan an entire book of the journey to the West, and they can write something really similar to Xu Hong, the Monkey King. This is possible. But this is just for a few sentences. But if you would like to generate an entire story with a new storyline, and then this possibly not what AI is good at. But transferment of text style is also possible. We have Google Translation, but it's just translation from Chinese to English to Japanese. But in the future, it will have more smaller divisions. For example, I can change from a Chinese of elder to adults to some Chinese speak by the youngster. This is still possible. At the final minutes, I would like to talk about what kind of opportunity will we miss if we do not invest in NLP, natural language processing, which is what I do using AI. The reason why we do this, because we do think that if we can use these techniques in the future, when we would like to make more IP character, we can use it. When we use chatbots with such techniques, we can have characterized chatbot, we can have characterized Siri. When we talk to the Siri in the iPhone, it's just one same tone. But if we had such technology, it would be different. At this time, it also helps us to create. You ask a youngster, if you just give him a pen or a pencil with a paper and ask he or she to write, he may not may be interested, but if in the future, maybe he will keep talking with the AI, and then he has interesting result for him to continue to write. And then that would be a much better way for us to recruit more talents and more people to join the script writing procedure. In the future, I think writing shouldn't be a personal thing. You will always maybe ask for the advice for AI to look for more similar results. And what you have written can be analyzed, and the data can be used to and for many other side products. At this time, maybe this is not such business commercialized, but in the future, I think this is where the market is. And thank you. This is my presentation. Thank you very much.